Hello, welcome to adfreeshows.com. We're back with our next edition of TullyVision. I am not Conrad Thompson, but I am Derek Sabato, and I am joined, as always on TullyVision, by the Hall of Famer himself, Tully Blanchard. Tully, how you doing today?
I am doing great, Derek.
We are already getting the comments in the chat. Amy Vaughn, I love the hat. Hat is over.
Amy.
The hat continues to be over here on the second week of us discussing the Horsemen's top 5 rivalries. And we are going to hop right into it with number 3, the man just inducted last week into the WWE Hall of Fame, a well-deserved honor in my mind, and a member of the adfreeshows.com family, Lex Luger. Tully, what did you think of Lex finally getting into the WWE Hall of Fame?
I probably heard about it after it had already happened. Lex was certainly a tremendous asset. He was a much better opponent of the Horsemen than he was a member of the Horsemen. And I don't mean that degradingly.
Sure.
Some people, Dusty Rhodes wouldn't have been a good member of the Horsemen.
Yeah.
A lot of other heels wouldn't have been good members of the Horsemen, but Luger was there for a short while. Then we switched him babyface and buried to a heel, and that was absolutely golden. And then Luger became a monumentous babyface.
Yes.
With his look and everything. And I will tell you that his press slam was higher than Animal or Hawks.
Did it hurt as much?
Well, it was a couple of inches higher, so he had to drop farther.
You mentioned last week that putting Lex in the Horseman wasn't the best move, but it got him to be that baby face that he would eventually become.
Oh, it was a good move, but it was not the move that to make the Horseman.
Right.
Because Ole and Arn, Rick and I were the singles, and I mean it was golden like that. And then Ole dropped a big home when he got fired or quit or whatever. I don't really know all the details. And then so they brought Luger in because he was in Florida and nobody looks like Luger.
Right.
Back then. And so we brought him in and made him look whatever, but to be able to compete, perform at the level that Rick, Arn, and myself could, and Luger had just started like a year,
right,
or less than a year,
still green,
and it's hard to go with that group full speed,
right,
and carry your end. And so it was good exposure for him, but quickly they decided to move him and make him a babyface where we could feed him and we could do whatever to him and make him look better than he was. And Barry was just the absolute bomb.
yes.
When we switched him heel. It shocked everybody, and it was golden, and that's why we get the Hall of Fame ring with Barry in there.
That's right. Now, the infamous turn is one of the best laid out tag matches you could ever see. The story of Lex and Barry against the Horsemen. You feel that build, you feel that crescendo, but also you never saw it coming, and it just made it all the more better, did it not?
Oh, yeah. And I don't remember all the details. I remember it was in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yep.
And I think we had to fight our way back to the dressing room. But other than that, it was golden because the aftermath was too good.
Lex has talked with me on his Lex Express show here on AdFreeShows.com about the heat he got in the locker room from his contract. Were you one of those people that thought too much too soon, or was it just the way the business was turning at that point?
Um, was that after I was already gone? Because that's when they started the contracts.
Yes. Yeah, he got the big deal after you guys had already left.
So I mean, it had nothing to do with me. I mean, it was. I mean, it was. I mean that's part of my testimony because Arn and I had already gone to the WWE.
Right.
And when Turner bought them, he started giving the contracts out. And then Arn and I talked. We were driving from Sacramento to San Francisco. Had to catch a 6 o'clock flight to Denver for the next night. And I told Arn, I said, look, we need to at least call up and see if there's any interest in them putting the Horsemen back together again, because they've tried to put 900 people in there.
Yeah.
And none of it ever worked. And just see what they have to offer, if they offer anything. And so Jim Barnett, we called Atlanta when we landed in Denver, and I asked for Barnett because my dad used to work for him up in Indianapolis.
Yes.
And I said, Jim, how would you like to put the Horsemen back together again? He said, I'll call you right back. And he offered Arn and I $750,000 for 3 years, which was more money than I'd ever thought about making.
Right.
And we agreed. And then we tried to get out of our contract with Vince, which was a little bit chaotic. And then I ended up flunking a drug test, and I'm not sure how legit that was, but they said I did. And when Vince said that we didn't have a job anymore, and then the other company told me that I didn't have a job, and then they cut the money Arn was getting, which lets you know the kind of people that they are. And I understood not giving me a contract, but of course, at 71, I am thrilled that they didn't. And I'm glad that at 4:03 in the morning, I said, Jesus, take over my life. And it has changed the last 35 years of my life and everything that I do and have done.
It's awesome.
And so anyway.
Yes. One of the biggest moments in Lex Luger's career and his build-up is the infamous Crockett Cup finals with him and his partner Sting. And you guys have beaten the hell out of both of them. But here you are, Jim Crockett Memorial Cup, Lex and Sting get the win. How important was that? Not just for you guys, but to move up the next level baby faces.
Was that me and Arn or me and Flair?
You and Arn.
That was probably a harder match than you'd know, because Sting and Luger were both at the beginning of their careers. And so it lets you know if the match was great, let you know how good me and Arn really were.
It is one of the best tag team matches I've ever seen. The crowd's electric. If you haven't seen it, it has to be somewhere. I don't know where WWE Vault puts anything anymore, but make sure you see it because it's going to blend right into number 2 rival of the Horsemen, his tag team partner that day, the man they call Sting. Sting walks into a locker room and you see him coming over from the UWF and Bill Watts. What's your first impression of seeing someone like that as young as they were?
We could make anybody look better than they were. And that's the way we approached everything. I mean, it was unspoken, but it was that Sting was, I can remember, I think we were in Baltimore and they put Arn and I against Sting and maybe Luger on the first match of a pay-per-view. Am I ringing a bell with you?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now, but I think I know what you're talking about. It might not have been a pay-per-view at this point, but you guys
It might have been a live TV match. It might have been one of the first live shows on TV.
very early on. You guys had a 6-man in March 31st. It was you, Arn, and Rick taking on Wyndham, Luger, and Sting. And then your biggest match is the Crockett Cup Finals. If it happened it didn't happen on pay-per-view, but if it happened on TV, I don't see it. But there were a lot of house shows with you guys as well.
Yeah, but I think this was in Baltimore. And it was they had one of those cage stacked up things with Kevin Sullivan and his group and against later on and whatever, and they put Arn and I on first against Sting.
Bash 88 Hoboken Squat Cobbler is saying it was Sting and Nikita.
Sting and Nikita?
And that opened the show.
Okay. And we went 20-minute Broadway.
Yes.
And it was very difficult to follow.
That was the goal, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, our goal every night was to have the best match that we could have. And that was the competition amongst us because Flair wanted to have the best match. I wanted to have the best match. Me and Arn wanted to have the best match. So it was kind of an internal thing. But we had I remember right at the end, Sting dove through the ropes or went over the top rope, and he flying body pressed both me and Arn, and we went back into the second row of ringside, and it pretty much sealed his deal because we made him in that one night.
Right.
And so anyway, he was certainly a great talent.
Yes, and speaking of great talent, his breakout performance in singles was against Flair, that infamous Clash of the Champions 88, going up against WrestleMania, 45-minute draw. You guys are mulling around backstage because you guys come out of the finish at the time limit. But did you have any idea that Flair could take anybody 45 minutes at that point when you see someone like Sting in there with him?
Oh, yeah. Flair, I mean, he was a champion and he could take anybody most of the times an hour. And, but it was when Sting was so good because he listened, and it didn't take long to figure out that these guys do not want to do anything but make you look great.
Right.
And once you were confident in the fact that we weren't out there trying to affect anybody's image or hurt anything or do anything. It's awesome.
Your role as heels is to elevate baby faces, and I think that's been lost in this business in the last 25 years. Instead of trying to get yourself over, you can get yourself over along with baby faces, and Sting is the perfect candidate for that. He wants to learn, he wants to listen. How good did Sting turn into, and how quick?
Oh, it was I mean, he was just magic. Um, the fans loved his painted face, and he was big and athletic and could do things that you asked him to do. And it was magnificent. And that's why Luger was a much better babyface than he was a heel.
Right. Sting in the ring, it took a little bit to get there, but as you're working tag matches and you're working with him in his elevation, was there one moment where you realized, was it Bash, where it's just like, this is the guy, this is who it's going to be, and he's the next babyface icon of the company?
I don't know that we ever thought like that. Because as long as Dusty was there was not going to be an icon bigger than him. I don't mean to be like that, but that was the fact.
Right.
And, but he was pushed. And as long as he kept guys working with us, he got pushed. And then, I was fortunate that I got to work with Dusty as much as anybody. And gimmick matches and ladder matches and
All of
that
it.
match and this match and Steel Baby Doll for 30 days and whatever the case might be. I got Dusty beat me up more than he beat Flair up.
Did you ever get the chance to have that one great singles match with Stings? I couldn't find any in my research.
Probably not, because it wasn't too long after that Arn and I left and went to the WWE or WWF at that time. And then when Arn came back to the company, they didn't want to hire me because of the drug test, and I was off having my relationship with the Lord.
Yes.
And wrestling was not really what I was trying to get back into.
Do you regret not getting that match with him? Is he someone you wish you could have got a chance to go one-on-one with? Baltimore, Philly, Greensboro, any of those spots?
Oh, any of those guys would have been. I mean, Sting would have been fabulous. You just go back to what me and Magnum did.
Yeah.
And it would have built up the same way, and it would have been done. I'm fortunate because I just got to do it a lot with Dusty,
Yeah,
instead of other people.
We are going to get to that. You haven't figured out yet who the number one rival of the Horsemen is in our 2-week trek here. I'm going to figure it out next week. I do want to bring up an honorable mention, someone we talked about today, which is Nikita Koloff, who was moved into a babyface role after Magnum's unfortunate accident. Nikita being able to go from the evil Russian, hates America, to the super white hot babyface by doing nothing but saving Dusty Rhodes and attacking the Horsemen shows the power of the heel of the Horsemen, was it not?
Absolutely. Give us all the credit.
I mean, really, when you look at it, he is waving the Russian flag. He's got CCCP on his singlet, and then all of a sudden he comes out to attack you and save Dusty and to fight everybody off. And all of a sudden, everybody forgets about it, and he's the next. It's just crazy to me. And you look, there's only one common denominator there, and it's the Horseman.
Derek, you're doing a great job.
I appreciate that. Do you think we've missed anybody before we get to our number one next week? Is there anybody that pops out in your head? Because right now we're at number 5, the Road Warriors, number 4, Magnum TA, number 3, Lex Luger, and number 2, Sting. Is there anyone we missed?
Well, I think that you got to throw in the
Midnight Express?
and no, that Midnight Express, but Robert and Ricky,
Rock and Rolls.
Rock and Roll Express, because we had a lot of great matches with those guys.
Yes.
And then the Midnight Express we were getting ready to do when Arn and I left.
Yes.
And dropped the titles to them in Philadelphia. We were getting ready to have a heel on heel deal, and no telling what that would have been with Cornette and JJ, and we could have had them tied together, and no telling what kind.
That's not an image I needed in my head this late at night, but I appreciate the thought process behind it. There is a hope that I would like. I'm working on trying to obtain the footage of your title change. I would like to watch that with you one of these times, because I think it's a interesting story to discuss, and how you guys made sure that you did business the right way on the way out. But we will get to that on another episode of TullyVision next week. The number one rival, the Horsemen ever. If you haven't been paying attention, it's going to be obvious. We will see you all next week here on AdFreeShows.com on TullyVision with Tully Blanchard. Tully, thank you so much, and we'll see you all next week.